So I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. Storing your whiskey, especially bourbon, in your fridge is not a good idea. And yes, I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this because everybody drinks bourbon their own way. But on this one, I'm sorry. I mean, you just should not do it, folks. Most of the flavor in bourbon comes from the lipid molecules and fatty acids that are passed on from the barrel during the aging process. And when you drop the temp on bourbon, those same proteins and sugars congeal and you hide the true flavor of the spirit. If you don't believe me, just think about the way your liquor store stores bottles. Do you see bottles laying on their sides? You remember my video about don't get sideways? And just like you don't see bottles up in the window or underneath a hot skylight, if you remember my don't get heated video, you also don't reach into a cooler to get your bottles of bourbon. So if you wouldn't do it at the liquor store, if it's not good enough for the liquor store to do, then why would you do it at home? Why would you put your bottle in the freezer or the fridge? Anyway, I'm not going to argue with you. Most whiskey veterans will tell you, you always have your first drink neat so you can get the true experience of the spirit before you reach for that ice bucket or that water dropper. But it's especially true if you are coming from a sub-zero or near zero temperature. So I challenge you. You can do your own research, do your own experiment. So take two bottles, the same bottle, and put one in the freezer and one on your countertop. And after it's chilled, take the one out of the freezer out, taste it, wait for a few seconds, then taste the bottle that's at room temperature and see if there's any difference there. And when you get ready, reverse that, take a sip of the room temperature bourbon, and then go for your chilled bourbon and see how that tastes. I guarantee you'll see a difference between those two experiences. You want your Blanton's to taste like Crown Royal? Well, you put it in the freezer and you see what happens. You tell me. Hit me up at Bourbon and Black on social media, or you can shoot me a DM on Facebook. And prove me wrong. Please. Slancha.